Here are 5 rad indie games arriving on the Nintendo Switch this August.
Confess, sailor. Reveal your romance.
Solo Islands of the Heart is a game that I originally seen and I kind of bypassed. This is a game that is all about choices and it's reflecting on love for a unique premise of the game. You build a path by using blocks on sleeping totems, and here is where you answer questions. You have a few questions that you can answer related to your real life relationships or your real life love, and this is kind of taking it to kind of reflect on a lot of your choices in life, to kind of think about where you were and where you can go in the future. This is definitely a unique premise, being a atmospheric and adding these puzzle elements. Plus it's really cute looking, and you can even take pictures of animals. From what I researched, this game originally came out before on Steam, and now it is coming to the Switch. The price for this game is $20, and it's around 3 to 5 hours from what I've seen online, so it's not incredible with the amount of content that it has, but I guess for something unique, if you want to have something that's really cute and also to reflect on, then consider picking up Solo Islands of the Heart. A lone member in a computer system leads a resistance against a devastating virus bent on total annihilation. Exception is something that at first I was like, okay, this looks alright, but when the landscape changed in the trailer, that is what really got me curious. So this is a 2-dimensional action game set in a 3-dimensional world. Each level transforms to reveal new challenges, which I think is actually pretty cool, and from the combat it looks like it has some nice visual feedback, which is something that's either hit or miss, especially in a game that's supposed to be really fast paced. This is a game that I hope has some pretty good combat. It has a cyberpunk theme, which seems to be becoming a trend nowadays with a lot of games coming out. It also features a synthwave soundtrack. I'm not familiar with that genre, but it's something that I'm very curious about now. I hope that Exception does really well, because this is one that I actually want to pick up if it seems to be pretty decent.
In the dark days of centuries past, an otherworldly beast known as the Maw appeared in Tiora, leaving ruin in its wake.
Heavily influenced by Tactics Ogre in the Final Fantasy Tactics games, this is one beautiful looking game. At first I wasn't sure if the environments or the characters were hand drawn, but looking closer into it, the environments are hand drawn and the portraits are absolutely stunning. This game has 30 classes and 300 abilities. That is a lot of variety I can see being in this game, depending on how the classes are and how many abilities and how it's actually played. This game is around 40 hours long since it already came out before on PC, and it's a game that I was like, whoa, this is really cool. It has a really unique kind of style, and I see that a lot of games these days are kind of bringing back the whole Final Fantasy Tactics, Disgaea type of games, and this one was really a pleasant surprise to see. This is releasing in mid-August, and if you're a fan of Final Fantasy Tactics or any of those tactical based turn-based RPGs, check out Full Sail Arbiter's Mark. It seems like a game that might be up your alley. Speaking of tactical RPGs, we have another one. This one is a homage to tactical RPGs from the 90s, a lot of SNES games. This one converts a 2D isometric look from 3D assets, and that's what stood out to me and why I really wanted to cover it in this video. There's around 50 handcrafted levels and 12 to 18 hours of gameplay, even going further with additional content, and depending on your skill level in these types of games, I could see this one taking a little bit longer. And with 13 unique unlockable classes, I could see a good amount of replay value in this game possibly, especially since there is local play in this game. This one is coming to you at $24.99, so this is not a cheap indie game, but for what it looks like and for what it's trying to get at, I think this one might be up your alley if you're a fan of turn-based tactical RPGs.
Today, we're going to show you something that has never been seen before.
I heard it's rad.
Don't spoil it.
Set in a post-apocalyptic world where humanity has faced Armageddon not once, but now twice, you take control of a rad teenager that will face unspeakable horrors. With that whole nostalgia based in the 80s and 90s, this is a game that definitely is on my #1 list out of all the games covered. You use a bat as a weapon, and you also have like mutant abilities that can help you fight. The narrator in the trailer and the music is absolutely awesome, and I recommend checking it out. That is really what sold me along with the gameplay. This is a roguelike, an action roguelike game in an isometric type of view, and it's really interesting because you don't see like a lot of games in this kind of gauntlet style, at least not as frequently as you did in the past. So this one is something that we really didn't hear about at all from Double Fine, which seems to be a thing. They just come out with a crazy type of game. This is one that I instantly wanted to pick up just because how cool the game looks. Or should I say how rad it looks.
The child shows promise, but the time has come for their real quest to begin. You are rad.
That's right, I secretly had to save the best for last in this bonus one. So we have Bubsy, Paws on Fire, which is the latest and greatest in Bobcat Gaming. This is a game, I'm going to be honest, it looks decent, and I actually seen a couple of reviews since it did come out on PC before, and the game is actually okay. It's nothing incredible, but this one is a auto runner made from the developers of the Bit Trip games, awesome series of games that is really fun to play. This one has over 100 levels, which might be a good thing or a bad thing since it seems to be a little bit repetitive, but there's also bonus stages and the game is very self-aware with the humor, and for playable characters that are unique. They all have their type of themes. So you have a Willy and a UFO, which is more like a shooter, while you have Bubsy, who goes through the levels. So this one actually looks okay, and I actually hope that this one is something that people may enjoy. This might even be the best Bubsy game besides the one on SNES, which is actually a pretty decent game that I played in the past. How do you feel about the whole Bubsy series, and while you're at it, which game on this list looked the most fun to you? Let me know in the comments below. Want to discover upcoming indie and Nintendo content? Then feel free to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon if you want to be notified of my newest releases. Until next time everyone, take care.